What is going on, everybody? We are back for another episode. It is Off Topic, on brand. That's your boy Siege.
Howdy.
I'm Smitty. And once again, we are here bringing our lovely voices straight into your ear holes.
I don't know if I like that or not. That seems like a little bit of a violation.
I mean, people stuck around this long. I kind of feel like they're liking us in their ear holes to some degree.
I don't want to yuck anybody's yum, so if that's your thing, go right ahead. But
Right.
we really do appreciate you sticking around, tuning in, and keeping us up to date with what you're thinking. The interactions that we've had on a few of the polls that we've done, the last two episodes, I believe we've done polls. Thank you to everybody that's responded to that, and thank you again for tuning in, whether you're on the YouTube watching our pretty faces or you're listening and getting us all up in your ear holes. All right, that made it even worse. Gross.
We're not getting any better, are we?
No. Well, anyway, off topic, on brand, as evidenced by the title. That's exactly what we're doing right here and now. Dude, it has been another crazy week. It's hard to believe that we're already to record time again, and then the new episode, obviously, the one you're listening to right now, dropping on Friday, hopefully making your weekend a little bit more enjoyable, depending on what the weather's doing in your neck of the woods. Could be snow, could be tornadoes that we were talking about offline just a minute ago. It's a crapshoot in this day and age. What's going on with the weather wherever you're listening, and regardless, we hope that you're safe, secure, and enjoying what you're listening from us. So either way, thanks for tuning in.
Oh, heck yeah. Anytime that we can hear something from all you guys that are listening, just shoot us a message. However you find us, just let us know what you're up to, what you're liking. Be a part of the show. Absolutely be a part of what we're doing right now. We love to hear from each and every one of you. The people, again, like Siege said, that we've had some great interactions. We enjoy that so much. To me, the interaction part is probably about as fun as making the episodes can be at times. So anytime that, we can reach out and you guys reach out to us, or maybe we're just bugging the crap out of you because we want to talk to you. Sometimes we sit around, we get lonely. We like to talk to people. And is that just me?
No,
I'm not just that guy.
we are of the era of the Green Day Dookie album. So the bonus track is I'm all by myself. And sitting in the basement here in the relative darkness, I kind of embody that. Maybe not as creepy as Trey, but
You're living in the moment, aren't you? So, dude, we're back here again. Tell me what you've been up to, man.
So it, again, has been a week. Just things going at lightning pace, but it was kind of a relaxed weekend, all things considered. I celebrated my birthday. I flirted so many years ago, so many decades ago, with being a leap year baby. I did not. I held on until midnight of the 1st to my mom, so I am a March 1st baby. But, man, the weather that came along with it, it was in the 60s the day before, and then Saturday hits, and it's in the 30s. And then stayed in the 30s on Sunday. We didn't have snow, thankfully, but it was one of those, like, I think it's my birthday. We're not going to go out this year. Just kind of want to stay close to home. Let's smoke. I have like a little quarter ham. It would have been perfect for us to do that in the smoker. No big deal. But my wife and daughter ran into town. Apparently my daughter wanted to pick up a present for Dad, which is nice. She didn't need to. Both of them got me gifts. But unbeknownst to me, my wife took a picture, and man, they were really pretty looking steaks. And I was like, well, that would be really nice, but you don't need to get those, because I don't know if you've priced meat lately, especially beef. Woof. But they did surprise me. They got me New York strips, which was always a thing that was at my grandma and grandpa's. Anytime there was the big family and get together, there'd be a wide variety of cuts of steak, and that would be the one I'd gravitate to the most. So speaking of my grandfather, thankfully, my wife and daughter do enjoy it every once in a while. My grandfather had this red wine marinade that he would do all the steaks in, and it just, to me, that screams steak. I'm not an A1 sauce guy. I'm not a garlic butter, whatever, fancy it up. But that marinade just it hits. So I asked if it was okay with them, or you want me to stay hands off, and since it's my birthday, do you want to surprise me with whatever you do? And they said, well, if you want to do it, go ahead. So I bundled up, I did the marinade, and I stood out on the deck in my winter coat and my overalls. and we grilled steak, and my wife cut up potatoes and onions, and we stuck that on the grill too. And she made a chocolate cake from scratch, and man, I felt like I was wined and dined. And didn't get wine, but the gift from my wife was she got me a whiskey set. So it was a bottle of whiskey. It came with a little plastic shot glass that hangs on the side of a glass, so you can have your beer and your shot. So haven't done that, but I did pour the whiskey on ice, and enjoyed a little bit of Shorzy on Sunday. So a great way to wrap up the birthday weekend, and then getting back into it with work. On Monday.
Right. From one extreme to the other, right?
Yeah. So again, 42 this year. So I think I'm doing all right, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, you're still in one piece.
Yeah.
All the parts are in the places that they were when you came out.
Well,
so,
I mean, for the most part.
We won't talk about that part.
No.
That's fine. No, but dude, it sounded like you had an awesome birthday, and honestly, sometimes, just a good meal, when especially the cake part of it. I saw the picture of the cake that she posted online, and it was to the point I had my phone in my hand and thinking,
well, and
can I lick it?
It's so funny because she actually took a piece of cake to work today to give to a coworker, and all weekend it's like, I'm going to take a lot of this to work because I don't think we're going to go through it. We have one piece of cake left as of recording time. So apparently it was a good thing for all of us. So
right. Yeah, it's always fun to be able to share the sweet treats like that with the family, because I know that sometimes when it comes to the birthday cakes, and I don't know if you're like this, but I am this way, I look at it as a challenge. It's like, this is your birthday cake. This has been made for you. Eat the cake. I shouldn't eat the cake, but in my brain, I'm thinking, all right, buckle up, buddy.
So Cakes and I have a long-standing relationship, not only with my waistline, but also working at a radio station. You kind of take whatever freebies are thrown your way. There used to be a sponsorship with Dairy Queen, and there were free coupons that were floating around the radio station. And me being the lonely low man on totem pole, I took as many of those coupons as I could. One day, it was a free ice cream cake. And it wasn't like a mini one. It was a regular size one that you get for a kid's birthday party. You will not believe that I ate, I think my wife may have, and at the time we weren't even engaged, but she may have had a few bites off of it, but I polished that bastard off all by myself. So needless to say, if I have any health issues that are lingering on, it may be because, well, gee, maybe in your 20s you should have eaten an entire ice cream cake on your own, fat ass.
So basically, you're going to be getting like a FaceTime from the ghost of Wilford Brimley at some point, is what you're saying.
We already mentioned it. I have both my feet still. Right now, at least.
So you're doing good for the time being.
Are we going to have to tie it back together to our preview episode where I had the pirate hook? Am I going to have a peg leg too?
Yeah. At some point, you're literally just going to become the full-on pirate. I think that's your life goal.
Again, I commit to a bit, man. You can't knock me for not trying.
Right? That's what I appreciate about you. Well, dude, it sounds like, again, you had just a phenomenal birthday weekend, and I'm glad that you were able to, be able to celebrate it with family and do a little bit of nothing, which I think, as we get on up in age, that's kind of the goal, isn't it?
And we're running all the time, whether it be work-related or extracurricular activities, or, again, us living in Iowa, if we want to go to a family get-together or something, we're traveling at least 5.5 hours to get there. So it's very much when you have a moment to kind of tucker in and not really do anything, that's the way to do it. And it's not like we didn't get stuff accomplished. I didn't just kick my feet up and it's, oh, look at me, I'm your Royal Highness on my birthday. Now we did dishes, did laundry, vacuumed, all that jazz. So again, did all the adult stuff too to keep the household together, but also got to enjoy some quiet time and some family time for the birthday. So that was welcome.
Well, heck yeah, man. I'm glad you were able to seize the carp for that one. And again, happy belated birthday. I know I wish you a happy birthday on your birthday, but to put it out into the land of podcasting to everybody's ears that may have missed that it was your birthday, man, send him some birthday wishes. We'll call it your birthday week.
There you go.
We can do that.
There you
go. Extended birthday week. Well, man, I'm glad you had a good weekend again. And my weekend was pretty uneventful to a degree. It was Saturday. I woke up and it was already, by the time I woke up, a little before 7 o'clock, into the 40s, which is warm compared to what it had been. And I looked at my phone and I was like, dang, man, it's going to get into the 70s today at some point. I'm going to get outside and do something. Don't know what I'm going to do. It just has to be outside. I already opened up the windows. I'm preparing for some nice spring-like air to get rolling in. And so I took care of my morning chores. I cleaned up my coffee and my mess and all that stuff. And I looked outside and was like, you know what? I'm going to the park, because our park, which is just kind of down the road from me, about a mile maybe. It has a walking trail, and the trail actually goes across town and connects in a few different places, but there's a trail that starts by a baseball field, goes along actually behind a couple different baseball fields, and then it weaves through the park. It goes under one of the main roads that goes through town, has a cool little creek that goes beside it, and it goes out all the way up into where they just put not just, but within the past 5 or 6 years, put a civic center out there. So this trailhead, it will go from park to the civic center and back. I think from one direction to the other, it's or back and forth. I think it's roughly 2.5, pushing 3 miles, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then in the park itself, they have this really cool pond that's got a walking trail that goes around the pond itself, which is, I think, a half-mile loop. And then there's a trail that goes around by playground equipment and just kind of juts off the beaded path a couple ways and connects back with the pond. And I think if you start at one end and take that all the way around, it's a mile. So I just started walking. I threw my headphones in, and I was just rocking just a really good playlist that just kept feeding good stuff at me. And I just didn't feel like stopping. I was just walking. I'm not a specimen of health. I'm not an athletic person. I played sports in high school. We're pushing 25 years at this point since high school. So I'm not what you would call the image of a healthy person necessarily in regards to being fit, muscular, anything like that. I can still walk, though. And I got out, and I just kept trucking, man. It was the slow-motion Forrest Gump. I just kept on walking. And, man, I put in, it was like 4.25 miles by the time I was done with that. And I sat in my truck. Like, I didn't realize I had been gone for over an hour at that point. I think it was an hour and 15 minutes. So I know that I can walk at least 3.5 miles an hour if I ever needed to know that information about myself. But I felt really good about that at the same time. And Sunday, I realized I made a really dumb decision because my legs, dude, they did not want to leg for me. I mean, I got up and I kind of waddled into the living room and I sat down. And it was that moment, when you've done more strenuous activity than you normally do, and you sit down and your body just kind of seizes up a little bit. I was really beginning to worry that I was going to have to call somebody to get me off my couch so I could use the bathroom. It was that bad, but I stretched a little bit and shook the soreness out and everything like that. So I finally started feeling pretty good, but overall felt good about just having a day to enjoy like that and just to get out and enjoy the weather. It's one of those things where for the past several years, I haven't done a lot of outdoor activities. Some of that, I will admit, was because of my ex didn't like doing outdoor activities. And I always assumed, well, if I'm going to spend time with her, I'm going to have to pretty much stay indoors. Like, it was kind of a rare thing to get her to want to leave sometimes. That's what I decided to do. She
was Colin Robinson, Smitty. Just throwing that out there.
There's a little bit of a drain aspect. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. But it also at the same time, I work a lot of hours at sometimes, and there's just days where I'm inside and I don't want to freaking move a muscle if I don't have to. So now I'm kind of starting to rethink. It's like, I've got this chance here to get back out into nature. I always enjoyed going outside. I like riding bikes and fishing and trail walking and things of that nature. So, again, just going to try to make that more of a routine and maybe next time not walk 4 miles, not risk not being able to do it again. But, overall, great weekend. Got some groceries, cooked some pork steaks, made some really good, yeah, dude. I went to the store the other day, and I didn't realize when I got it, it said large package. And when I got home, I read that, and my first thought was immediately, large package. But then I was like, wait, what does large package mean? Are there like 10 pork steaks in here? No, man, these things were, God, seemed like they were a foot long.
So they're like the pork tenderloins you get that it's bigger than the plate that it comes on, and this little itty bitty bun on the top of it. It was one of those.
Pretty much. Yeah, they were all pretty well folded on top. There's 3 of them in the package, but they were folded on top of one another so much that the package seemed like it was a lot bigger than it was. And I got my biggest sheet pan. I decided not to do anything out on the grill or smoker because by the time Sunday rolled around when I was doing that, we were back into the 30s again. And it looked like there was some weather coming. I didn't want to mess with it. So I decided to do it on a sheet pan in the oven. And I'm unfolding everything and putting them in the sheet pan. The 3 fit on my sheet pan perfectly. And that is all the room that I had. I had no more room.
That's pretty telling that's a damn big pork steak when you got a baking pan, cookie tray, that all 3 of them cover the surface area.
Right, dude. I felt like putting that thing in there. It was probably a good 3.5, 4 pounds. I mean, each one of these things was well over a pound. They were just monstrous. And I cooked those bad boys up and ate 1 whole pork steak Sunday night. And I was miserable. Like it was pushing meat coma for me after that. And then the smart guy that I am bought some freaking ice cream and decided to have a bowl of ice cream after that. So I think I did a very good job at working out, exercising, moving on Saturday, and then completely neglecting every single bit of that on Sunday.
As you know, hashtag fat life.
Fat life, baby. I'm all about that. As much as I want to not be fat, I'm also very happy being fat.
Out of curiosity, did you happen to have a smartwatch or step tracker on you with your walk on Saturday?
I did, yeah. I think the walk alone was just a few steps shy of 9,000. I think. Yeah, my daily goal I have set at it's either 6,000 or 6,500, and I looked at it in all 3 of the levels because I've got one of the Samsung Galaxy watches, and it's got the little heart. It's got the heart, in the 3 rings, and all 3 of them were full. And I think at one point my watch just kept beeping at me. It probably was my watch's way of saying, hey, fat ass, you've done a lot more than you normally do, so you might want to slow down just a little bit. You're probably going to overdo this.
Your heart's going to explode. Stop it.
You're going to die. But I think at the end of the day, by the time because I did that 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, I still had things I needed to do around the apartment when I got back. I hadn't done all of my full run of chores and everything, so I still finished that up. And I think by the end of the day, after that was all done, I still had like 12,000 steps for the day or some crazy number like that. That's a banner day for me, dude. I'm pretty sure that my watch is probably going to frame that and gold plate it and everything, and we're going to brag about this in about 3 or 4 years. Like, you know what? You're not doing crap with your life right now, but you remember that day, the end of February in 2026? Dude, you were on it that day.
It'll be like the Spotify Wrapped, only you remember when you weren't fat? Here's the day that you did the most of not being fat.
Or it's going to be like, you know what? You're fat right now, but if you'd have done all the things that you did that day, you might not still be fat. So think about that, buddy. But yeah, overall, good weekend. I slept like a freaking baby on Sunday. By the time Monday came back around, I was pretty much the same as you. It's like, oh, good weekend, and it's gone.
Yeah.
Monday, how you doing?
And it's gone.
But hey, while we're talking about it, while we're thinking about it, what'd you think about Shorzy?
Well, I feel like we need to cross over into our pop culture category for that because I've got a few notes, sir.
Oh, let's go ahead and get rolling, buddy. What you got for me this week?
So, pop culture this week, again, you teed it up perfectly. We got a little bit of Shorzy time. Now, I don't want to get any super talk right now on account of I'm pretty sure you finished the series or the season, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm done with it.
So we are halfway through it now. Obviously, the language content, not necessarily the greatest for the 11-year-old, but we were able to squeeze in 3 episodes this weekend. And absolutely phenomenal. You and I kind of talked about it offline. If we were ranking seasons, and again, in progress, so I still have a little bit to go before I can give you a fully fledged out idea. I'm still putting season 3 as my number 1, then number 4, then number 5, then number 1, and then number 2. And again, we've said this before. Anything in the Takeovers, if we're ranking it as the lowest, all other shows would dream and beg and pray that they can have a show as good as the worst season of whatever Jared Kiso and his crew are doing. But again, I'm really enjoying season 5, but that just shows the benchmark that season 3 and season 4 were for me. And I think you're in the same boat as me in the top 2 rankings. And I would be willing to move things around depending on the day, depending on the episode even. But I think it's a pretty solid list, and open for debate after I finish the season if 5 moves up or moves down in the list. But either way, that's not indicative of it being, it tanked, it's awful, it's bad. Even if it moved to the last place spot, it's still worth watching, 100%.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I fully agree with you in that everything so far between Letterkenny and Shoresy that Jared Kiso has done, I've just eaten it all up. There's episodes that didn't fully land with me, but I can't say that season-wise I can look back and say, that season as a whole just didn't do anything for me, because we've talked about multiple TV shows that we've loved for forever. You know, some of the ones like Scrubs and How I Met Your Mother and The Office, things like that. We can look at some of those shows and still be like, there's many great episodes, but there's also seasons that we look at and go, that season as a whole just didn't really do it for me. Yep. And maybe you can kind of give Letterkenny and Shoresy a bit of a benefit of the doubt because there's only 6 episodes a season, so they don't have to stretch as much. You know, they're not going 15, 20, 25 episodes. Gives them a bit of a break, but at the same time, I still think that even if they stretched it out further, their seasons would still be really good. And I enjoyed season 5. I think if I'm doing a ranking of the seasons of Shoresy so far, I'm doing season 3, the standout season for me. I put 1 in as my number 2. I do 4, I do 5, and I do 2. Okay. Season 2, not bad. As you said, not a bad season. It was transitional, going from 1, which ended on a really high point.
Yeah.
And then 2 just kind of, to me, 2 took the high point and it just went.
Yeah.
Nothing really wavering. They just extended what they did in season 1. And then 3, really, to me, 3 is, there's no way to describe the full range of emotion that season 3 gave me. Which is crazy, because Shoresy, as we've said this before, he was such just a side character, a vulgar throwaway sort of background character in Letterkenny. And to give him such depth has just blown my mind. To see this evolution of that character, and not only that, to bring on such a phenomenal supporting cast to go around it to complete that evolution. And he's just done magic with this show.
I venture to say, if we were going to put all of the Kiso-verse thus far, obviously he's working on a new series that we don't know what that's going to look like yet. So it's not fair to cast the judgment out there that this is going to be excellent too. We don't know. Just, he's got a good track record. But if we were to compare Letterkenny and Shoresy and lump them all in, and then we're going to rank seasons as we do, I would have a really, really hard time trying to convince myself that that's not the best season, start to finish, of all of the shows. Just that one's number 1 for me. I would have to go back and rewatch all of Letterkenny to really get a feel for it, but it's up there. And if it's not number 1, it's easy in that top 5. 100% it's in the top 5.
I don't think I'm going to be able to argue that in any way with you. Yeah, it's almost similar but different comparing Letterkenny and Shoresy. Obviously, It's a spinoff, but it almost seems apples to oranges because I feel like Shorzy was able to take the situational part of it a little bit differently. It was able to do more of a full arcs of a season, whereas Letterkenny, it didn't really have to go from episode to episode with this arcing storyline. It could just be a different thing that happens every single day in the town of Letterkenny, which maybe that is the overall arc, but it didn't have to have all the continuity that Shorzy has done for it to work. And I know they tried that too a little bit in Letterkenny 7, 8, 9, somewhere along in through there, and it just felt off. Yeah. The way that show was constructed. But Shorzy, the way that they do this, phenomenal. Perfect. They don't have to touch what they're doing with it. And to be honest with you, if they decided that going into this next show with Kizo, they're going to put Shorzy to the side, I would be okay with that. I would miss it. But at the same time, I would be like, you've done perfect with this show. Leave it be. Don't touch it. Just let it live in all the beauty that you have created over here.
Exactly. And I've seen a few things online, people rumbling that they should have ended it with season 3. They shouldn't have done any more. I disagree wholeheartedly there, but is it still the high point? Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that I brought to the table with pop culture, and then we'll shift over to you, whatever you've got this week, is I got to give props to someone that we have loved for a long, long time. He's a pro wrestler that has done so much in pop culture. Danhausen. Danhausen has made it to WWE after a long, winding road. He hadn't been on AEW television in close to, if not over a year. And he was the surprise guest or unveil at Elimination Chamber this weekend. And then he was on Monday Night Raw on this past Monday, and my God, people booed him because they didn't know what the hell they were seeing, all the casual fans. But those of us that love him and his character, it was just phenomenal. Then they gave him mic time on Monday Night Raw. It was less than 5 minutes. It was like 2 minutes. Already, people are sold on him, and his t-shirt is one of the top-selling things in all of WWE right now. He's doing exactly what we thought he would do and could do, and they're allowing him to do it, so I'm super excited for him. And again, if you don't know who Danhausen is, seriously, go to his YouTube channel, watch any of his videos. Phenomenally funny. Just think a human Simpsons character. That's the best way I can describe it.
That is honestly the only way to describe that guy. That is accurate beyond anything. And yeah, the fact that they signed him, I was so happy to see because, and I think I mentioned this to you offline briefly the other night when we were talking about it. That character was essentially his Hail Mary in pro wrestling. I'd read that he was going to try something new, and that if that didn't work, he was more than content with being like, I tried this wrestling thing, I gave it my all, I didn't get where I wanted to get with it, but I'm okay walking away. And it took off, and obviously it's to the point where it is now. But yeah, I just hope that they trust the process, that WWE will let him go, just let this marinate some and just grow, because he's absolutely hilarious. And he's completely different than what you see on a lot of WWE programming. There's athletic guys, there's strong guys, there's these characters that are basically just guys who wrestle. And he comes in with this fully fledged character, and probably one of the people in the wrestling business now that knows his character better than anyone. And in the fact that he can just make it work, he can make you laugh, he can do these things where you're like, what the hell did he just do? But you buy into it, and it's perfect for the entertainment part that is in World Wrestling Entertainment. And I just hope that they don't try to change it. I hope that they don't try to do anything other than maybe give him a bit of a clear path and say, this is your moment, do the thing. And from there, we just see what happens.
There have been a lot of dark times in pro wrestling, and not just literal dark times with some those that shall but not be named, but also just figuratively with, oh God, this sucks. Why am I a fan? If we could go back to the general manager era, you can't tell me that that's not must-see TV of Danhausen being the general manager.
Oh my God, dude. I hadn't even thought about that even being a possibility, but Danhausen running running a show. Oh man, I would love to hear him doing commentary and just the way that he throws if you're not familiar with Danhausen, he throws the Hausen onto anything. So him throwing, Seth Rollinshausen or something along Obafemi Hausen, things like that, and just mispronouncing people's names, that would be such a perfect thing.
He has not had an interaction with CM Punk yet, but Pepsi Phil is his long-running nickname for him, and has already called Adam Pearce Cold Steve Austin. Mm-hmm. So that is something that is going to just blossom from here. So hopefully they let him have a longer lease, especially after I'm assuming, because I've seen it on every form of social media that the company's pushing out. I can't imagine that this isn't going to be one of the most viewed clips of the week. Just him being stupid backstage. So, and also something to catch you up on who he is as a person. Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, that podcast. He actually talked to Danhausen years ago. I think it was even before he was signed to AEW, and he was locked into that contract for several years. So this is multiple years ago, and this is already after he'd made kind of a name along the indies with this gimmick. So again, definitely worth checking out. And I know a lot of you aren't wrestling fans like we are, but definitely worth your time to go check out the clip that we're referencing from Monday Night Raw this week. And again, just he's goofy in all the right ways.
Oh, so very much. And I think that even if you're not a wrestling fan, saying that he's a Human Simpsons character can give you an idea of what to expect. So if that is your brand of humor or something along those lines, yeah, definitely check out Danhausen. And which I found it pretty cool that already this morning there was an update on WWE Supercard, which is the card collecting game that's on mobile phones, and he's already been put in at one of the highest tiers.
Yes.
And so I actually, and he was a free gift today, so I logged in and had a notification that said get your, it said something along the lines of get your free Cardhausen right now. Was the notification from the app. And so I logged in, checked it out, and got me a Danhausen card. And also, speaking of video games,
yes,
while we're on that topic, that's what I'm bringing to the table this week. One of my fancy little things. We're going to talk about one of the most anticipated video games, quite possibly of all time, and that is set to be coming out this November. That is GTA 6. Allegedly, we're finally getting there, because the rumor is, now there's a lot of people that try to do leaks and hacking and things like that. This apparently Rockstar has gotten to the point with GTA 6, the point in the development, getting ready for release, that they are said is basically Fort Knox, and that they are not releasing anything. They're checking resources every day to make sure leaks are not getting out. They're putting out fake leaks, kind of like what WWE has done over the past to get out to the dirt sheets and stuff like that. So they're putting out fake stuff just to see who the moles are, so they can be like, all right, buddy, you did that, you're out of here. So they're doing that sort of thing right now to protect as much as they can before this comes out. But somebody has found that PlayStation Network has already got some of the title IDs uploaded into their system, which the title IDs are basically the last thing that comes before the game gets ready for release or for pre-order. So everybody's already kind of starting to think that since they've announced, I believe there is a new trailer supposed to be coming in the spring, and that could be any time now. Spring is just a couple weeks away officially from happening. And so the thought is that the release of the next trailer is going to lead into the pre-order part of this, given, November 19th is the supposed date of release. So that's giving us what now at this point? 8 months? Something like that? Yeah. And so that's going to give them plenty of time to start getting these pre-orders rolling out. And so everybody's kind of already starting to think, the rumor is that this could be the first $100 game, base game, which is crazy.
Well, and what was the rumored size of the game?
At first, it was around 700 gigabytes. Somebody has reported that I believe it was Microsoft. Xbox has confirmed 676.6 gigabytes. That's a whole freaking hard drive, dude. That is insane for one game. How much that is. It's to the point where I'm wondering how well even the new systems, which this is going to be the test for the new systems. This is going to let us know it's like, all right, we're going full into the PS5 and the Xbox Series 1s, Series X's. Push it. We're going to see what this is capable of. So it's already, it's already kind of to the point where everybody's like, well, this is going to be a lot of money. I'm probably going to have to get a new hard drive. What am I going to do? So, we're going to have a few months to figure that out. But title IDs are coming, and, if you're not familiar with, if you're not a gamer, Grand Theft Auto is one of the biggest franchises of all time at this point. GTA 3, when it came out on the PlayStation 2, just kind of changed the gaming world completely in terms of what is called sandbox gaming, open world gaming. It's been copied so many times. So many games have implemented this style of free roam and just letting you kind of do what you needed to do. You could either follow the mission or you could just go over here and steal a car. You could bang a hooker. You could climb up on top of a mountain and snipe people, things of that nature. You could do what you wanted to in these video games. So we're looking forward to that. And GTA 6 is going to be going back to Vice City, which that was another PS2 game set in the 80s at the time, but now they're updating it. It's going to be set in, I believe it's called Leonida, Florida, which is based on Miami, the Everglades, the Florida Keys are all included in it. Vice City, I think it's basically just a carbon copy to an extent of Miami, but you're adventuring all over the state of Florida within the confines of this game, and it's going to feature two protagonists this year. Jason Duvall, who was a criminal working for, he'd worked for drug runners before going to prison after serving in the Army. And for the first time, Rockstar has finally allowed a selectable female protagonist, which is Lucia Caminos, and she is in prison after fighting for her family in Liberty City, which is where GTA 4 originated from. So I love that they're keeping everything in the universe. They're keeping everything just kind of, there's continuity, there's canon, all this stuff is included, and so now we wait. See if it's really going to happen.
You're excited for the game and the gameplay. I will say this, I can't wait for the release of the soundtrack, because with Vice City, that is one of the most lauded in-game soundtracks of all time, and I can't fight it. There's no way around it. Right. They did everything right. And with the update of the decade, and with it being, I don't know if Florida will have much to do with the soundtrack, but being of that decade, you could argue they could sneak a Cannibal Corpse on there, a la Ace Ventura.
That would be pretty fun. Definitely. I'm curious to see, because they're not going back in time. Like Vice City itself was set in the 80s, but now they're more current. The two things I'm hoping for with this is one, there is definitely an influx of it's Florida Man type Easter eggs into the game, and two, I'm hoping that it's just chaos. It can't not be GTA and not be chaos, right? So I'm hoping that there's like gator wrestling and things of that nature, walking up to some tweaker on meth that's down there in Florida. And just how
dare you? They do bath salts down there.
So I want this tweaker to walk over and pick a gator up out of the lake and just start chucking it at people or something like that. I'm going to rob a drive-thru with an alligator. That would be pretty fun. But speaking of music and soundtracks and things of that nature, the other little tidbit of information I got with us tonight is one of my absolute favorite artists, Sturgill Simpson, is back with some brand new music. Now, what Sturgill's been doing, he had said years ago that he was going to release 5 albums under his name. He was going to be done. He was cutting out. Well, he's done 4. And he started doing this project called Johnny Blue Skies and the Dark Clouds. Now, he released an album in 2024, and I'm not exactly sure how you say it because I believe it's French, but it's Passage du Désir, I believe is right.
That works for me.
It's close enough because I am not a cunning linguist. But he released that back in 2024, and that album at the time, he kind of blended like a lot of soul, which he's got a very soulful voice. He's not quite a Chris Stapleton sort of soulful guy. He's got his own style of it. But he blended that with some blues, with a lot of his brand of more of a modern outlaw country, I guess is what you could call the style that he normally has. And then he put like a bunch of 60s and early 70s Southern rock vibes, and like Allman Brothers and things of that nature is what he blended in with that previous album. Well, this one, apparently his goal was to make a dance album. And damn it, if that dude didn't do that, I listened to it earlier before we started the podcast. And it's only about 45 minutes long. It's very easy to digest. And the very first song on this, like it just comes out blasting you. It sounds like disco country. To me, it's almost like you take a bit of 70s disco, you weave in some Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and then you've got somebody that sounds kind of like Waylon Jennings or Merle Haggard coming at you with some of the country vibes. But the very first song on this album, and it just jumps right out at you. It's called "Make America Fuck Again." And I was just like, you know what? Okay, I'm cool with that. He's got a line. I think it may even be that song where he's like something along the lines of, "I'm going to be Hunter Biden on this bitch, and I'm going to make a hooker fall around and fall in love with me," or something along those lines. And I'm just like, all right, I never thought that I would be hearing something like that and nodding my head the way that I was, but Sturgill, man, you came out firing with this one. And so it's one of those albums that if you're a fan of Sturgill Simpson, you're probably already listening to it. If you're not a fan of Sturgill Simpson, I would urge you to give this a listen. It releases physically March 13th, but he did just a Sturgill thing, which he is so very much anti-establishment as far as it goes in the music business. He's like, you know what? Screw it. We're going to put this thing for free on YouTube. There are no ad breaks whatsoever, so you can go track to track across this entire thing. 45-ish minutes of funky country dance music, and it's right there. So all you got to do is pull up YouTube and look up Johnny Blue Skies and the Dark Clouds. The album is called Mutiny After Midnight, and you can stream that bad boy right now, and it is absolutely worth it. So whenever you're done listening and watching us on YouTube, how about you go on over and see what old Sturgill's up to and get a little funky.
Just the description alone, on paper, it's very much a, how many pots did you smoke? The answer is yes. But
yes.
you did send me the sample of that first song. And by God, it works. And it doesn't make any sense why it works. It just does. So, yeah, definitely as somebody that is not as into Sturgill as you are, but I can appreciate everything the guy is doing. And the vocals are really, really soulful. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. If not his solo stuff or his Sturgill stuff, definitely check this out because it's funky enough that I bet it's going to turn on a lot of people that never, ever would check him out otherwise. So definitely worth checking out.
Oh, I absolutely think so, because I know Sturgill is known as being a country artist, and so I think a lot of people immediately are going to be turned off in the fact that, this is a Sturgill Simpson thing, and I don't much care for Sturgill. No, just don't think about it like that. Just go in with as much of an open mind as you can, because it is very much not what you would expect, and it's just fun. And it's one of those albums that when you listen to, you just kind of find yourself, you just bopping along. And then there's times, as I listened to it earlier, there were very good guitar solos. There was Southern rock, there's gritty type things popping up here and there. And then sometimes dude's voice he has very much, again, going back to it, a Chris Stapleton vibe, and the soul that he brings into his delivery, his style. And then you got just fun lyrics. And, like I said, the first song is Make America Fuck Again. You got, at the end of it, Ain't That a Bitch. So we're covering all of it.
It's the full spectrum. Let's be real.
It really is. And I can't believe that it's one of those things I would have never expected from the guy. And at the same time, very much, damn it, why didn't you do this sooner?
That's a great way to describe it. And I think we've pretty well covered pop culture, but we have. And now, granted, where we're recording, we're not that far away from the start of it, but we are in the midst of March. We already discussed the weather. It's coming in like a lion with the roller coaster ride that we're all on. It's either, wow, this is really warm for this time of year, or it's freezing, or it's storming, or whatever. But something that we kind of overlooked until, well, we're already in it, this month is National Reading Month. So we thought for our main event, we would talk books.
Oh, man.
Anyways.
Holy crap. So...
I really didn't think he was going to die like that.
Did you just kill your husband?
I swear I didn't. He's right there.
Because I'm looking up and all of a sudden I just see him flying off screen and then I see your head pop in. All right, so...
Did you hurt yourself? Oh, okay.
So, really quickly, if you're not watching this on our YouTube and you're just listening on audio, I'm looking at my screen. I'm looking at my buddy Siege, and we're starting to talk about books. And all of a sudden, he goes flying. The next thing I know, I'm looking at his wonderful wife, Trista. Trista, what the heck are you doing here?
I really like books. And, I think I'm the better person to talk about them.
Well, considering that I have read maybe one book in the past, 10, 12 years, I am definitely not a person that is knowledgeable in books at all. So as much as I am not for violence...
Me neither.
I'm kind of glad that you came in and knocked Siege out of the picture for a bit, because you are very much a reader. You're very much a book person. Mm-hmm. You work at a library. Yeah. So if there's anybody that is connected to this show in any way, shape, or form, you are the person that needs to be talking about books. So Trista, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to give you the microphone. I'm going to give you all of this space. Just talk to us about books. Tell us what's going on.
What's Trista reading this week? And what you should read too.
So, yeah, I read a lot. I've really recently got into a lot of audiobooks. My wonderful husband, who's not dead, got me a Kindle for Christmas, and I am loving just the easiness of reading a book on that, and listening to a book through that, and, working at a library, I have access to thousands of books through not just the actual print books that we have at the library, but also the subscription services that we have and stuff. But currently, I am on book 4 this week.
Wait, you're the 4th book you've read this week?
Yeah.
Holy crap, that is awesome.
And that's, I read a lot of stuff for school too, because I'm also a teacher. And so, I'm reading stuff for school on top of my personal books that I read. Now, the books that I read, some people would call them smut.
Ooh, you like the spicy stuff, huh?
I like a little spice, yeah. But I also read a lot of nonfiction. I love historical fiction. It's just, I read anything, I'm not big on the horror and, thriller type books. I don't watch horror movies and stuff like that, so why would I enjoy the books like that too? So,
right.
But I found some new authors that I really like recently. Laura Pavlov. I hope I'm saying her name right. She's new to me. I've listened to 8 of her books in the last month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they read really quickly. Spice level is mild.
Okay, so like jalapeno level?
Kind of close to habanero in some some parts. And it's really fun when you listen to audiobooks and they have a male reader for the male part and a female for the female parts, because they really get into the scenes, and you can really picture it. When I read, I picture things in my head, and some people I've learned don't do that. They can't do that. They can't see pictures when they're reading, and I'm like, I see things while I'm reading.
Mm-hmm.
But the two that I finished this week are part of a series, the Cottonwood Cove series, and Under the Stars, which I think is book 2, and book 3 is On the Shore. And I'm almost done with book 4 in the series. There's 5 total. And it's called Before the Sunset. So, I really like the characters in these books. They're fun. They're relatable. It's like this family in a town, but it seems like they have the most amazing luck when it comes to careers and money and finding, the people that they love and stuff like that. So, I'm also currently reading, I actually have the book with me. This book here, you can't really see it that well. Jasmine, and I'm going to mispronounce her last name, but Guillory. But my daughter actually got this book for me for Christmas. She knows Mom likes romance, and it's called Drunk on Love. So it's about a woman running a winery that, like, her brother is not really wanting her to be in charge, but she is better at it than him, because go women. And then another one that I just recently started is called The Deal by Elle Kennedy. Now, for my hockey people, these are not those hockey books, not those. This is a different one. This is part of the Off-Campus series, which Amazon is actually going to have a series, and I've never read these books before, so I was like, I'm going to go ahead and give them a try. And so far, they're pretty good, but I think there's like 5 or 6 books in the series, so we shall see.
There you go.
Yeah. Another book that I'm listening to, I think, 3 different books and reading 2 print books. So sometimes I get them mixed up, like, wait, was that in that book? Or was that in another one?
They just kind of start crossing worlds at some point.
They do, yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah. But Anne-Marie Meyer, she has several series, and she popped up on my social media just as a author you might be interested in. And so I picked her up, started listening to that, and it's the first book in this series is the Magnolia Inn, and I think there's quite a few in that, but they're little books, so they should only take me, a day or 2 to get through.
Okay.
And then, have you heard the phrase TBR?
I'm not sure if I have or not.
Okay.
Enlighten me.
So TBR stands for to be read.
Okay.
And us book people have TBRs that are a mile long.
Okay.
So I don't buy a lot of books because I work at a library. So I try to get a lot of my books from the library. But anyways, I have a few books on my TBR that I've purchased, and I forget about them because I'm like, I want to read this book. I want to read that book. So my husband recommended, this is on my Kindle, this series of books called The Witches of Scotland.
Ooh.
So it's got a lot of that fantasy, but when I opened it up, it has all the books in one thing, and it's like 1,000 hours of listening time.
Holy crap.
Or something. Maybe it's 1,000 chapters. I can't remember.
Okay.
It's one or the two. But I was just like, That's a lot of commitment.
Mm-hmm. You're going to have to block out a lot of time, aren't you?
Yeah. So, I mean, on the weekends when I'm cleaning or, you know, just lounging, I'll usually just have a book or my audiobook while I'm cleaning, because it's easy to, you know, walk around with headphones and ignore things that are going on around me.
Yeah, something's going, you know, if he's over there, he's eating too much bad food and he can't stop farting, I can understand that's the perfect time to go ahead and just plug up.
And it's kind of hard to ignore the farts. I mean, they're pretty farty.
Noise canceling can only do so much, can't it?
Right. And I don't have noise canceling headphones. I just have the bone conductor ones that go like on the outside of your ears. Yeah. So farts aside, another book that I have on my TBR is called The Secret Midwife. Now, this one's going to be a tough read. Anything I read that I've read several books that deal with the Holocaust and things like that. But this is a midwife that was in one of the most predominant concentration camps of the Nazi Germany era. But it sounded like really good. And I love anything that has to do with midwifery. Hooked on the show called The Midwife. That's something my daughter and I actually watch. And yeah, great show. I think it's coming to an end soon, which is like bummer deal, but yeah. And I wanted to talk about some of my favorite books so far this year.
Okay, heck yeah.
Yeah. So one of my favorite authors is Catherine Bybee. She's got several series out. I think I have read all of her books at least 3 or 4 different times.
Wow.
Yeah, I every time she has a new book come out, like that's part of the series, I reread the series. because you know, books usually it's like one a year or one every 6 months, unless you're James Patterson, who cranks them out like so frequently. But yeah, so Catherine Bybee, her book Maybe Someday. It was the 5th book in the D'Angelo's series, and it's an Italian family. And this one was a lot different than a lot of her other books. It was about the matriarch of the family. So her husband had died, and so she was a widow for like 20 years. And then she goes on this singles cruise with a friend, and she wasn't looking for love, but love found her. So it was like, wow, you can find love later in life. And,
right?
You know, and a second love, which was like really interesting. And, you know, the older kids were like, because mom hid it from them for a while. And so it was kind of like one of those, they're going to find out in a way they shouldn't find out. And yep, they got caught.
Busted.
Mm-hmm. And her spice level in her books is, I wouldn't even say it's jalapeno. Like it's
okay.
It's like a Serrano, maybe. Okay. I don't know if a Serrano is like less spicy or what.
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, it's not that spicy. So you know, my mother-in-law could listen to these books and be perfectly fine.
Okay. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, not like the book I tried to give her for Christmas that had some words in it that I was like, nope, I don't want to picture her reading this book. Nope.
Getting all flustered and then like, what did she give me to read?
Yeah, nope. And then this book is not romance, even though it kind of has like a underlying kind of romance to it. The Story Collector by Evie Woods. I've read 2 of her books now and loved both of them. They're both like set in Ireland, Scotland, you know.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, so beautiful stories, and just I fell in love with these, and I like think that this one was it was an audiobook, and the narrator was Scottish, so it was wonderful. I could listen to that accent like all day, every day.
Right.
And then a couple more things, and then you boys can get back to your whatever it is you do.
This thing.
Books I'm excited for. So Abby Jimenez, a lot of people are really into her. She's become like really popular. She actually won the show Cupcake Wars years and years ago. Had a show called, or not a show, she has a cupcake place. Sorry, my husband has a big head.
Yeah, he does.
And I don't. Anyways, so she has a store, and I think it's called Maddie Cakes. And they're located, like, she grew up, I think, in California, but she lives in Minnesota now, which isn't far from us here in Iowa. But her next book is called The Night We Met, and it just sounds like wonderful. Her books don't have a lot of spice in them. She does a lot of like shout outs to local restaurants in her books, which is fantastic. And actually, like, one that she frequents often is a Japanese sushi Thai place, I believe. And she has brought them so much business because she mentioned them in one of her books. And then she has done like TikToks with them or about them. They won't let her pay for her meals anymore. Oh,
wow.
So that's how much
awesome.
that she has brought like to them. So, and that comes out at the end of March. So, yeah. And some other books that I like have, seen lately that I'm like, oh, I kind of want to read that is I, Medusa, by Ayana Gray. Saw that at, I believe, Barnes & Noble a couple weeks ago. And then This Is Not About Us by Allegra Goodman. Yeah, I read a lot. I don't know if you can even tell, but my glasses toppers, they even have books on them.
Oh, those are books. Those are awesome.
Yeah. And then I even have earrings that are books. So I am just your local book lady.
You are. Do you do the book talk stuff online?
No. I think I would get myself in trouble if I did that, because that's just one more thing. No, what I do is when people come into the library, I get to know them, and then I can help them pick out the books that they really want to read. So
I'm sure that feels pretty good too. Like you steer them in a direction. You're obviously using your preferences and stuff, but you're also understanding what they want, and you've got enough of a knowledge of the whole scope of what is in the library. And just point them in a direction, be like, you're going to like this, 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 and this, right?
Yeah, I always ask, what are you into? And then, sometimes I'll do a little research for them, be like, oh, well, if you like them, you'll probably like this, or, yeah. So, yeah. And a lot of times, so when I was younger, I really didn't get into reading a lot until I was, I can't even think. I loved reading. I've always loved reading, but I've never consumed books like I do now. I think that just started, maybe when we moved to Iowa. I really started reading more. I worked at a library when I was in Cape, or when we were in Cape. And I really started reading then, but now it's just like books are a comfort.
Gotcha. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what is it that you look for the most? Like, are you more drawn to the story? Are you more drawn to characters or setting? What is it that draws you into the books?
It really depends, but I like relatable characters. Except for, I do like to listen to a a millionaire love story, like, oh, the millionaire falls in love with the waitress kind of story. Like, how relatable is that? Not really relatable, but it's fun. So yeah, I like characters that are like good and wholesome kind of characters. So yeah, what I look for is probably good character development. I'm probably gonna get some like slack for this, but I don't really care. I tried to read the Twilight books when I was in college. I read the first one. I don't know how people read any more of those because, and even my husband, I think he read the first book, and we tried the second one, and it was just like, what kind of crap is this? Like, seriously, I did not get the amount of fluff that was thrown into the book. Like, I think at least 200 pages could have been taken out of the book, and it could have made it a lot better. But I also don't think vampires should sparkle. When they get in the sun, they're supposed to, explode like they did on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But that's enough of that soapbox.
Hey, that's totally fine. You like what you like, and if somebody wants to disagree with it, screw them, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, am I going to critique if you love Twilight, that's you. Like, if you love 50 Shades of Grey, that's also you. If you love only reading historical fiction, if you only love reading nonfiction.
Oh, no.
Read what you... Oh, no.
No.
DJ?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're back. All right.
I don't know what happened, and I don't know when you lost me. But I was
you were just starting to talk about 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I was like, I think I said, if you like 50 Shades of Grey, that's good for you. If you like only reading nonfiction, historical fiction, romance, you read what you like. If you like reading YA, young adult, read that. Like, don't let anybody judge you for what you like reading. You just read it.
Right. That's kind of the beautiful thing. And I relate, I think about that with music, TV, movies. It's art, and we digest it differently. We consume it differently. And what you like, I might not, vice versa. Doesn't mean we got to make a big deal about it. It's quite all right in my world. If you like something different, you're not hurting me. Yeah. There's no reason to argue about these things because it's subjective.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh, heck yeah.
Well, sir, that is about all that I have. So I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my tea.
All right.
And read some of my book. And he says that I have to say goodbye to you the same way that you guys say goodbye.
Oh, all right. Well, what we like to do around here is get the finger up and we touch the tubes. Oh, that's so awesome. Trista, it was awesome to have you on here. And it's the first time I think I've seen you in quite a while, so it's nice to be able to see you at least as much as in person as I can for the moment. And, if we ever talk about books again, you might just have to barge your way back back into the studio and just kick the old guy right out of the seat again.
I don't know if I want to push him out of his seat again. I might just, scoot in.
We can do it a little bit nicer next time, I guess.
Yeah, we'll try to not be violent. I think he wanted me to do that.
Well, so. If that's his thing, he likes getting roughed up a little bit. I'm not going to say anything about that. You guys do what you like to do.
My dad listens to this podcast.
Trista, you are a stand-up, wonderful human being. You are the most pure of humans that I know. You are a jewel in the world.
Oh, well, thank you.
But it was awesome having you on. And again, thanks for enlightening us, being the person that is I'm going to consider you the beacon of knowledge when it comes to books, as far as I'm concerned. your wealth of knowledge, not only in genres, but just across authors and the information you can relay about it. It's something that I hope that anybody listening will pick up on, and we're just gonna, anybody asking questions, we're just gonna slide them right your way. And I hope that you can get more people in the process reading books. I think we could all stand to probably do that a little bit more than what we do.
Yeah, if anyone can, help me get my students to read a little bit more, that'd be great.
That might take a little bit more effort than what we're capable of.
Yeah.
All right, good seeing you, Trista.
You too.
Bye.